It's time to jump into the luxury imports of Bowling Green, BMW, Mercedes, Sports Webb, with your host, Brian Webb. Also starring Vegas Frank and Against the Odds, brought to you by JBK Network Consulting. Bowling Green Fireplace and Grill presents WKU Lady Tops golf coach and PGA teaching professional Adam Gary in Gary on the Green. It's The Good Fit with Jeremy Harris and Sports Webb baseball analyst Danny Hartung from First Step Orthotics. WKU Sports Analysis with Garrett Browning, plus the Culver's High School Player of the Week. And all phone interviews and guests appear via the Linux of Bowling Green Hotline. Now, from ESPNKY.com, here's your host, Brian Webb.
Hello, welcome to another edition of the Sports Web. I tell you what, Danny the Limb in studio with me. What's up, buddy? I'm doing good. Baseball, dude. We are. We're starting like the 24th.
2 weeks.
Can you believe that?
I love it, man. Spring training's too long for me. People are getting hurt already. I mean, it's crazy. The Yankees are falling apart, man. They're going to be limping into the season instead of out. I mean, last year they had 39 injuries to that team during the year.
Oh my gosh.
They got Severino out for the year for Tommy John. Paxton's hurt. He had surgery. The judge is going to probably go into the knife. He has a broken rib that they're going to remove.
Holy cow.
They do the same thing with this when pitchers get this. It's like a costal release. They get it from pitching for that weird movement. And what it does is it creates a blood clot. And it's painful. It's not, nothing could kill you, but it's real painful. And it radiates into the shoulder and the lats and in the pectoral muscles. And it's just a real nuisance all the time. I mean, last year he thought he had it done, and it was done with last year. He took a dive in California during playing the Angels, and he said he heard something pop, and he just got shot up a couple of times and numbed the place, and he thought it was over with till he started practicing again. But
wow,
that judge, and then Giancarlo Stanton's not going to be ready for the opening season as predicted.
Well, and you were talking about injuries. Willie Calhoun got busted in the face.
Wow. You should see that pop, man. That he got hit it right in the chest, broke a jaw, unintentionally.
Oh, of course.
Inside fastball got away from him.
Man, that's tough. You think about being on the mound. I mean, you pitched. I mean, that's got to be in the back of your mind.
Well, yeah, you never want to hit anybody, but, it's part of the game.
It's inevitable. It's going to happen.
You know what? Take a line drive, come back on you.
I mean, I can't imagine
Take a line drive coming back on you. When you're off balance after you throw a pitch,
exactly.
Come back, it's hard to defend yourself.
You can't adjust.
Well, it's hard to defend yourself just by putting up your hand,
Baseball's so fast.
Breaking your wrist or a hand or something, just blocking a line drive coming back at you. It's tough, man. It really is.
My buddy Hunter dropped a stat on me last week. The average, you take the whole game from first pitch to the last crack of the bat, the last out, 11 minutes of actual play.
Yeah.
That just blows my mind.
It really is. It's all in between, man.
It is. I mean, it's like the weirdest thing.
Exactly. A play can take less than 5 seconds.
Exactly.
Guy hits it on the ground, boom, too hot, boom, over the first bat.
That is so insane when you think about it in those terms.
If you look at it, first batter, boom, he hits the chopper to the shortstop over to first, boom, boom, play. If you look at it, that probably takes 5 seconds.
That's unbelievable.
And then you add it all up. Like 11 minutes seems actually like a long.
That's profound.
Yeah.
Last year, early season, and we're going to do it again this year. We're going to do it today if you can. But last year, you kind of gave us a synopsis of what you thought the Major League Baseball season would look like across the regular season into the postseason. What are you thinking? Who are your top 4 teams? 2 out of each league. What are you seeing right now? What are you thinking?
Well, of course, out of the NL West, it's got to be the Dodgers. I mean, they're sitting guys on that team on the bench that could start at a lot of these teams. So Dodgers, I expect to get at least 105, 1 to 108 wins this year, at least. Yeah. They're pitching solid. They're deep. Walker Buehler will be their ace this year, along with, you got your, Kershaw and the regular cast of heroes.
What a beast.
I mean, you're talking about, they got Bellins,
they're so loaded.
They are. They're so loaded. Max Muncy. I mean, crazy. It's a crazy amount. But like I said, they've got guys that can start on other teams sitting on the bench. So NL West, I like the Dodgers a lot. Okay, AL West. It's going to be a little different this year. I expect Oakland to take that AL
Oh,
West.
really?
I think there's going to be a hangover and a lot of I think the Houston team is going to be kind of they'll be good. They'll be good, but if Verlander's out for any decent amount of time, who they had a problem with yesterday, who came out with tricep soreness, and if he has to sit for a couple of months, they could have a lot of problems. But
that could hurt.
I like Oakland.
Are they not real deep? I mean,
they're not anymore. I mean, they just got rid of Garrett Cole, and McCullers came right off of Tommy John surgery, so you're not going to know what he's going to do. And they should be fine, but I mean, they're going to have to piece together their 4 and 5 pretty much. They got a decent bullpen, but I like Oakland. Oakland's deep. They got a good pitching staff. They hit the ball. I mean, and they play good fundamental baseball, and they're young. I mean, you get some good kids on the team. NL East Central. Central's going to be a lot of fun. Last year was everyone beats up on each other. This year, they're going to beat up on a lot of people. Cincinnati's going to be good.
Yes.
I love that pitching staff.
Oh, yeah.
I kind of like the Cubs a little bit. Milwaukee's going to be, I think, a little farther down. I'd like, actually, between Cincinnati and Chicago to win it, and they're only going to win about 85 games. If the winner of the Central. I think that'd probably be about the tops, and then you're looking at 85, and then 84, and then 83, then 82. I mean, they're going to run 1 through 4 like that. And then out of the East, you got to kind of go with they got the reigning world champions, the Nats there, and they should be pretty close to the top. They're going to have Atlanta's going to give them fits. Philly's going to give them fits this year. They got Joe Girardi at the helm there, so they should do pretty well. And then the AL West, Yankees are limping into the into the opening of the season. Tampa Bay is going to be tough, but Boston, I feel it's going to be fairly down year for them. Their pitching is not.
That's your squad, Danny.
Yeah, they're not real good. They're not going to be very good this year, and I think Toronto's going to make a big stride to get up there too. They
I like that.
Boasted their pitching rotation up there. We're picking up Ryu and also picked up not Trevor Bauer, but I'll figure it out here.
Well, here's what I wanted to ask you, if you don't mind, and staying right on topic here. But around here, we've got about 3 or 4 teams that people. You can almost say if you ask somebody in Bowling Green, Kentucky, who they like, you're going to get one of these teams. It's going to be the St. Louis Cardinals.
Yep.
It's going to be the Cincinnati Reds, Atlanta Braves, and the Chicago Cubs. I mean, what about the Cubs and the Cardinals?
Cardinals, they really didn't pick up much. I mean, I mean, they should be okay. They're going to be in that 1, 2, 3, 4 team right out of the Central. I mean, Brewers, Cards, Cubs, and Cincinnati and the Reds. Pittsburgh, I don't see anything going on. I really just don't. They picked up nobody in free agency. I mean, they took their money, from the sharing, but they didn't pick up anybody. They maybe spent $4,000 or something.
Oh my God,
outrageous like that. Yeah,
that's Walmart prices.
Yeah, it's pretty sick. But I like the Cardinals. I always like the Cardinals, but that's a team that's getting up in age, and They still have Wainwright for crying out loud. I mean, come on. He came up when I was in high school.
Oh, my goodness. The Platters had a hit song.
Yeah, exactly. But the Cubs haven't bolstered their roster very much. Let's see how some of their pitching does this year.
They got Darvish.
Yeah. Let's see what Mr. Yu Darvish does. He's still blaming Houston for tipping his pitches 3 years ago when they played the Dodgers. But,
he might be on.
He might be right, but yeah, but he swears he didn't hear any trash cans. But
oh my goodness!
No, I'm telling you what. As far as pitching stuff goes, I think Cincinnati's second to none in the Central. I really do.
I like your A's pick. I really do. What about the Padres?
Padres are going to make a little bit of a move. I see that with them and the California Angels. If you picked up Rendon and the Angels, it's going to help Trout out a little bit. But their pitching staff is terrible. I mean, terrible. But the Padres, you'll never know. They could move up there and get up above San Francisco. But, boy, that Dodgers just going to – they may clinch by August.
You were on the Braves, that young Braves team, way early.
Yeah.
You see much of the same?
I like them a lot. I love them out of the East, actually, this year, over Washington. Washington's going to be around, but I like the Braves a lot just because of that pitching staff as well. They got Fried and Fried and
that other guy.
There's a bunch of it. Well, you hope they all come in healthy, and they will, But Freddie Freeman's back, Albies, they're all healthy right now. So yeah, I really think Atlanta, what they need to do is come out right off the bat and win the first 7 out of 10, and then they're going to be hard to catch.
I like it. You just had the Major League Extended Minute by Danny the Limb Hartung, First Step Prosthetics Orthotics, right there next to Computerland.
Right next to Computerland, and 2 doors down from
Batteries Plus. Bulbs. Batteries Plus bulbs. All right, man, right now we got a few minutes left. It's time. We all get juiced. We all get ready. We fill out 30-something brackets. I lose my mind during this coming up week. Selection Sunday on its way, be here really soon. 4 tops, 1 seeds. You're looking at Kansas, Gonzaga. I think San Diego State got upset.
Did they?
They did.
They did.
They got upset.
Is that going to cost them a 1 seed?
That's going to cost them a 1 seed.
That's too bad.
That really is.
30
I think
and 1?
Utah State. I think.
Oh, did they?
That blew my mind.
I didn't get to watch it.
And, that kind of bodes back to me thinking it's okay to lose a couple games before you get into tournament time.
Do it early.
Exactly. And that way you get it out of your system. I think that's what the Tops did, dropping one in North Texas. It kind of gave them a little bit of a bad taste in their mouth. So going into the Conference USA with a little rest, I think the Tops are going to do well. We're either going to play UAB or UTSA. Cool. I don't like playing either one of those teams, but I really don't want to play La Tech. I hope they get upset.
They're all dangerous.
They're all dangerous, especially this time of year. I mean, Conference USA, it's a plethora of similar teams, but I think the Tops will definitely rise to the top, and no pun intended, cream of the crop there. I like to see them, but how many brackets do you usually get into?
About 5.
Yeah, there you go.
It's not nothing crazy because I love this.
You have to get a 1099.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, right. This is the time of year I really start watching college basketball. I follow my Creighton Blue Jays. I followed them all year long. And
yeah,
congratulations!
They got a big win.
They beat Seton Hall to win the share of the Big East Channel. So at 24-7. They had them earlier at a 4 seed. I would think they could go to a 3 or a 2.
Really? That would be.
They went into
the
the top
spot.
10.
It'd be a good spot.
They went into the top 10. So
you think we're going to see a lot of upsets this year?
Yeah,
I do too. I think it's going to be upset.
I think it's
heavy.
pretty ugly. It could be ugly upsets.
You think the Cats are going to make a run? UK?
I do. They looked awful good. Tennessee.
That blew my mind.
They didn't miss anything.
That's just it. You're shooting 78, 80%.
They didn't really miss anything. And my boys down in Tennessee would probably be getting mad if they hear me bad talking.
I bet they're still living on
they're
pulse and time.
Yeah, exactly. But
unbelievable.
But Kentucky still looks good to me, and Kansas is looking really good. But you never know this year. I think someone's going to come out of a 5 seed or a 6 seed and win this thing this year.
It's very possible.
It's crazy.
You might see an 8 seed. Yeah, you never know.
Sounds crazy.
You got teams like Maryland in this thing.
Yeah.
There's some good teams that are under the radar.
They have lousy records that are going to win their tournament and get in. And
people getting healthy at the right time.
And going to Sweet 16, and all of a sudden, boom.
I don't think Kansas gets there.
I don't either.
I really don't think they get there.
I think they can get to Sweet 16.
Oh, sure, maybe Elite 8.
Yeah,
but I don't think they're going to Final Four.
No, I don't either.
I'm not going. I may pick them in one of my 30 brackets.
I like Virginia.
Like Virginia a lot. I think they're going to really be hard to handle.
I was watching them.
They're so good. Always fun, man. It's Sports Webb coming at you. You're listening to Danny Hartung, the Limb. Brian Webb here. Casey is out on spring break. He's living it up.
Yeah.
What about his White Sox? They're going to be any good?
Sox are going to be awesome.
Well, good for
him. The Sox are going to be great. I don't pick them to win the Central, but I have them finish second or third wouldn't surprise me at all.
And we got a month away from NFL draft. Looking forward to that. We're going to see what happens. It's going to be crazy.
Good time of year.
It's a great time of year. Danny the Limb, check him out. And you go in and just stick your head in First Step. Say hi to the Limb. He's in there 2 or 3 days a week, and he's a floater. He's back and forth in Tennessee, But ready for some golf? Who's going to win the Players before we go to break?
I like this week. I kind of like Mark Leishman.
Leishman, that's probably a pretty daggone good pick.
He's playing good. I watched that debacle yesterday, and the kid Terrell Hatton pulled it out, and they both. Rory went to.
I had like a wrist surgery here, just like recently too.
Rory,
that's amazing.
Rory was circling the drain as the day went on. I mean,
he's on the event horizon.
Yeah, he shot 76.
76.
He's won
the limb can shoot 76.
I can.
I can maybe twice a year.
I can and I have. So.
Yeah, I can and I have often. No, it's great stuff, man. Appreciate you as always. I was real quick last night on the show on TV. We had the last leg of our pitchers on. 3 of the kids picked Kershaw as their favorite pitcher.
Really?
Because his curveball, he can spot it wherever he wants.
Oh, yeah. You got to like Kershaw.
You got to love it. You got to love the limb. That's who you got to love.
Man.
Don't go anywhere, man. You know why? Because Vegas Frank's coming up. Adam Gary on the green. He's down in Jacksonville. We're going to catch up with him. I've got Dalton Decker, Evanston County Wildcat, got my last regular season Culvers. And then we've got Coach's pick with his player of the year, Elizabeth Bertram. He's going to talk a little bit about her. Lim, you're the man.
Chill and chillax. We're going.
102.7.
Play like winners, act like winners. If you put your effort and concentration into playing to your potential, to be the best that you can be, in my book, we're going to be winners.
You will all get better. You'll get better because you make each other better.
It's time for the Coach's Pick, brought to you by Oak Tree Awards and Recognition at 318 Morgantown Road in Bowling Green. Oak Tree Awards and Recognition, more than sports trophies. Call 270-843-6024.
Welcome back. Coach's Pick, Oak Tree Awards and Recognition, 318 Morgantown Road. Got him on the Linux Hotline, Coach Damon Tabor. Coach, we saw some basketball, didn't we, buddy?
We played a bunch of basketball, but we've seen some good basketball games and with the girls, and of course the boys continue tonight. But, yes, Rick Herman has actually kind of panned out like you and I thought first of the year.
It really did. It came around exactly. And, a lot of people didn't give Barron County a real shot of being in that final game, but we both knew that when you got somebody like Elizabeth Bertram on the team, I mean, they go as she goes,
Well, they both finished. Barron County finishes 26-7, and Bowling Green 26-6, and all the way to Rupp Arena for the Sweet 16. Got a tough draw with Rupp.
Yeah, I saw that.
But I think they can. They're so athletic. We're wishing Bowling Green the best.
Yeah, I mean, I really think they bode well in this thing. And I mean, they're just so. At every position, they seem to be in good shape, and they don't really have a weak spot on the court. And with Calvin Head, I mean, he's a great coach. He'll get it done. Look forward to checking that out Thursday. I'm not sure what time that game is, but I'm sure that'll be out.
5:30, I think.
5:30. Okay, there you go. Eastern time, so you'll be able to make, or is that Central time?
It's on the app, so I think it's Central time.
Okay,
I believe that's,
all right.
I believe, Brian, they play the first game Thursday night.
First game Thursday night. Nice. Well, we got some big games tonight to attend, and looking forward to that. But let's talk a little bit about that Barron County game. Really close first half, and then you thought maybe that they were going to stay in that, but Bowling Green seemed to pull away there late in the third.
Well, there was 2 things I think happened. One, they helped Barron County. They only shot almost 8% from the three-point line, and that's a big part of their game.
Yeah.
And 2, they put Shelton on Bertram, and Bertram was everything she got. She only got 6 points, and she had to fight for just some 6.
She did.
So that was their game plan, I guess.
Yeah.
And 3 other people were in double figures, but they got to have Bertram in order to pull these things out.
No question. And they just aren't deep enough, and they couldn't fight back against the unbelievable D that she put on Bertram. Great job for her. I mean, 3 or 4 of these ladies from Bowling Green just played a great tournament, and I look for them to carry that on, at Rupp Arena. I don't see why not. Looking forward to seeing how that pans out. But, Coach, we've got it's time. Now, next week, you're going to come back, and we're going to do you've got 4 you got the districts around here. You've got 4 players out of each district, and we'll finish up Coach's Pick on that. But right now, we're going to talk about your player of the year, and you caught up with her Saturday.
This was Bertram from Barron County. She's been a couple other people's pick also, but she was just all around. When it came to defense, she worked hard on defense, and sometimes she's kind of sneaky, but she was constantly going. She can shoot the three. She takes it to the basket. And like, the night before, she had 30 in the semifinals. And I've watched her several times, and she was a leading average, the most points in the region. There was a couple others, where Shelton was right there. She's young. Markham from Russell County was, I think, the second leading scorer in the region. So, there were some good players this year, a lot of good young players. But overall, I just like the way Elizabeth played hard. Good teammate. If a teammate made a mistake, so she came over there and just kind of patted him on the back and, let's go. So she was definitely a leader out there on the floor.
She's a natural leader, Coach. She really, really is. And I look for big things out of Bertram in the future. I don't think we've heard the last of Elizabeth Bertram.
I don't think so. I haven't seen out of the loop here whether she's signed to go anywhere next year.
Not that I know of yet,
but she'd be a good catch for somebody.
Oh, absolutely.
So that's a good thing, and hopefully she can continue her basketball career in college level.
Well, now we're almost girls basketball is almost over. What's Coach going to do with his life now? It's just going to be one week.
Well, I watched the NCAA tournament. I've actually watched some yesterday. It was about 4 or 5 women's championships yesterday.
Yep.
So watched several of those. Went and played golf yesterday.
There you go.
Give somebody some time.
Yeah.
And spend time at the store, and I got yard work.
That's
right.
You'll be busy. You'll stay busy. Elizabeth Bertram, folks, Barron County Trojanette, gets Coach's Picks Player of the Year. And I'll tell you, that plaque was more like a trophy. That thing was so awesome, and I got a cool picture of it. We'll share that when I tweet the show out. But yeah, man, I appreciate you. It's so much fun doing this, and you just nailed it all year, and you basically told us kind of what was going to happen before the season started, and that's why we love having you on ESPN 102.7 and on the Sports Web, my friend.
Well, thank you. I look for a good year next year, Brian.
Absolutely.
There's a lot of good basketball players, young players.
Lots of sophomores and juniors, and there's a couple of teams I think are going to make a big stir next year, and we won't mention any names, but I'm looking forward to getting back in it around November, Coach, and we'll be right back on the hardwood. But I'm getting ready to do my final Culver's regular season player, and then I'll do my player of the week probably next week or the week after. Coach, always a pleasure. Damon Tabor, get over there. Oak Tree Awards are more than just trophies. We appreciate you, buddy.
Thank you, Brian. Y'all have a great summer.
You do the same, my friend. We'll get you one more time next week, but stick around. Right now we're going to switch over to basketball boys, and I've got going up to Edmonson County. Coach Damon Tabor.
You said we're a team. One person struggles, and we all struggle. One player triumphs, we all triumph, right?
It's time for Culver's High School Basketball Player of the Week. Visit Culver's, 4903 Scottsville Road, for some delicious burgers.
Welcome back to the Sports Web. On the Linex Hotline is our Culver's High School Player of the Week, our last regular season player, and it takes us up to my alma mater, Edmonson County High School, and my man Dalton Decker, number 1 on the jersey. What's up, man?
Not too much going on.
Man, I tell you what, looking forward to this. I'm so glad I got you in. There was a couple of times during the season when it was you, and then somebody would do something insane, and I'd have to give it to them, and it worked out, man. It worked out to where I got you in there, and I did not want that to not happen. Averaging 19 points a game up there for the Wildcats. Unbelievable. Great free throw percentage. I think you were setting, I'll have to look it back, 75%, man. You were shooting about 3 a game, so that's good stuff right there. A couple of and ones, I'm sure. So we're looking at that, and some of your other stats were just really good, man. And you're a rebounder too. You were getting 4 or 5 rebounds a game, and I think you were averaging 5 or 6 assists a game. So incredible numbers for Dalton Decker. Man, just sum up this season for me a little bit.
Well, all year long it's been a grind. We started out real slow, but there towards the middle, end of the season or so, we really clicked, and we went on a big winning streak, evened up the record, and even these big teams like Greenwood. We had them.
You guys did. You guys played a great game against the Gators.
Yeah, we had them up 9 in the third. We just let that one slip, but I was really proud of my team after that one. So
I guarantee it, man.
All in all, I think the season was pretty fun and a good one to end on.
You know, it's funny because I went to high school with your father, and he was one heck of a baseball. I think he still has the home run record there at Edmonson County. I'm not sure, but knowing that and seeing you on the basketball court, you were as good at basketball as your father was at baseball, and it's funny that was your passion. How much do you love that game?
That's what he always talked about when he talked about sports. He said he liked basketball, but baseball was where his heart is, where his basketball is mine.
Yeah.
But I was actually just like him until about 7th, 8th grade or something like that, and then it just flipped. I'm not really sure what happened, but
no, that's cool, man, and it just goes to show it doesn't matter what mold you come from. We're all individuals, and we know what we like, and that's what we gravitate towards. And it sounds like basketball was what you gravitated toward. I mean, is there a possibility you playing this in the future, or maybe continuing this?
Yeah, I'm looking into some stuff. Still got a few things to attend, figure out what I'm going to do with the rest of my life.
Well,
stuff, so.
If there's a possibility, man, at your age and you're young and, you get a chance to play no matter what level it is, I say go for it. I played a little NAIA golf, and it was just as fun as NCAA Division I, and I'm not saying you're not good enough for that too, but your numbers are great. You're a hustler. You're a hard player, and your passion for the game definitely accounts for a lot as well. So back in the basketball days, did you play any travel ball? I mean, what did you do to get ready? What made you so daggone good at this sport, Dalton?
Well, in my younger days, honestly, everything was baseball. Really,
I knew it was. Yeah.
Travel ball, traveling everywhere to play baseball. But I don't know. And about freshman year in high school, I guess this is what I like. This is what I wanted to do, and I'm putting in the work and grinded for it. So
well, it shows on paper. It shows on paper, Dalton, that you did, and just to be able to play a sport that you love and be competitive at it. And it sounds like the Wildcats. You guys like midseason, like you're talking about. You made a push and left it all out there. I think you've had a great high school career. What are some of the games or some of the memories other than the Greenwood game that stand out?
Well, Metcalf at home was a really fun game. I had 39 that one, and I actually had 11 rebounds and 5 assists that game too.
Man, that's a marquee game for you against the Hornets there.
Yeah, and then I actually got to come back that next game against Green, and I had 32 that game. So those are some of my really highlights, I guess.
Yeah, that's amazing. I can't imagine that at any level, but especially high school basketball, to be able to, drop almost 40, big 40 burger. That's pretty awesome.
I missed one free throw. That was my 40 ball.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, you shot 92% that game.
Yeah,
that's insane, man. Well, I tell you, real quick before we get out of here, first of all, I appreciate Culver's, and we're ending the regular season. I'll have my player of the year here in a week or two, but still got some basketball going on down here in the 4th region. But man, hats off to you and your career. And what do you like to do? I always like to ask you kids, when you're not on the outside on the pavement busting some threes and in the gym working, what do you like to do for fun, man? Your dad's a big fisherman. What do you like to do?
Oh, that's what I like to do too. I like to fish.
Absolutely. What's your biggest largemouth?
6'6".
Whoa, you got me beat, man. I'm 47. I've never caught a 6-pounder. I've had on, but never got one in the boat. That is great stuff, Dalton. Man, it's been so much fun having you on the Sports Web, and good luck to your future, dude. Keep this basketball thing on the burner. You don't know what you might be able to do, and you get in somewhere and you start putting numbers up like that. You never know, dude. I'd like to see you have a college career on the hardwood.
Yes, sir. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Dalton Decker, everybody, Edmonson County Wildcat #1. We'll be right back on the Sports Web.
Hello, Vegas. Give me $100 on red.
Go! $200 in tips, please.
Are you a professional?
What's your bet, sir?
Bet.
Hit me.
It's a bust.
Whoa! I am on fire.
Oh, he's good. He's good.
You're a winner!
Against the Odds with Vegas Frank is brought to you by JBK Network Consulting.
JBK Network Consulting. We are IB Everything. Working with complex organizations to achieve measurable business outcomes is what we do. Let Jim Grant and JBK Network Consulting go to work for you. Call 270-796-8935. Visit JBK Network Consulting at 1143 Fairway Place, Suite 105, and online at jbk.net.
Thanks for coming on back to the Sports Web. Las Vegas, Nevada. Got him on the Linex hotline. Vegas Frank against the odds. What's up, man?
I'm doing good. How about yourself?
I'm doing good, man. I missed you last week. It was weird not having you, but my boy Mark Webster filled in, did a great job. I don't know if you got to hear it or not, but he did a good job. I'll tell you, man, we got you back in the saddle this week and a lot going on. We got basketball is full swing. Towards the end of the season here is when I love it the most. We're going to talk a little bit about that with Jaw about the SEC, Conference USA, and then maybe you can tell me if UNLV is going to make any kind of a stir, which I'm kind of doubting that's going to happen. But, we'll start there. What's up?
Well, UNLV is going to make a stir as far as, if they host a rowdy viewing party for the tournament. But they're not going to cause a stir as far as playing because the Mountain West Conference, their tournament final was this past Saturday.
Oh, was it already? I didn't realize that.
The final was Saturday. Utah State upset San Diego State.
Oh,
which
wow.
Which might be more detrimental to San Diego State than we thought. Utah State really needed that win because they were going to have to sweat it out for about a week's time. 8 days from last Saturday would have been to us to get to Selection Sunday next Sunday. They would have been sweating this out this whole time. Now Utah State knows they're in. San Diego State is going to have to watch and wait to see all these other teams kind of showcase and maneuver themselves. I think it cost San Diego State a 1 seed by losing that conference tournament final.
Yeah.
San Diego State will probably not be a 1 seed at this point, probably looking at a 2 seed.
Man, that's I'm glad you told me that because I had no idea that happened, which is not out of the ordinary for me to be in the dark. Well, I'll tell you what, man, I think UK is probably going to, I don't know. I mean, there's some pretty good competition in the SEC this year, but I just feel like they always click, It's like tournament time is just something they like to turn on a switch and everybody does their job.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you. I think that Kentucky is playing well at the right time. Big win over the weekend at Florida, we know that Florida is a really tough team. They're going to be a tournament team as well.
Oh, yeah, they're good.
Kentucky definitely responded. Florida had that big lead in the second half, and Kentucky was able to respond and come back and win that game. Kentucky currently slated at like a 2 seed, and I think they're kind of hold the form. They probably won't get a 1 as an outside shot at them getting a 1 seed. But they're currently projected as a 2 seed. I think them getting to the semifinal of the SEC championship or the final game, not even having to win it, I think they'd lock themselves in as a 2 seed, barring what happens in these other tournaments.
I feel like this year's tournament of 64 or 5, whatever it is, I feel like there's going to be. I mean, there's always an upset or two, but I feel like there's going to be an uproar of upsets, an upset uproar this year.
Well, you're right because the way it's trending, we don't have real traditional powers. Gonzaga, has become a team that people are more familiar with, but they're not a super dominant program. And you would look at like another conference team, just say Kansas at full strength, Kansas versus Gonzaga, you're going to probably take Kansas. I mean, and Kentucky too. So there's these teams that have kind of stepped. I mean, look at Dayton. Dayton currently projected to be a 1 seed. Dayton 29-3. I mean, hats off to them. They've had a fantastic season, but no one is really looking at Dayton as being a team. I don't see them as a Final Four type team. I think they could definitely make a run. I think they've got a lot of talent, but I don't see them as one of those traditional Final Four teams that we see year in, year out. We'll see some familiar faces, but we're going to see some surprises too.
Well, it looks like WKU Hilltoppers are going to either take on UAB, who beat us in the regular season, 62-72. We were just kind of figuring it out without Bassie there, but I feel like that's probably who we're going to. UTSA, I mean, San Antonio's good. I mean, we might play them. They may beat UAB. I don't know. I kind of feel like it'll be us versus UAB, and we got some revenge in that game. I like that. But this past game that they played against FIU, we got by them, but it was tied in the first half. These tops. The thing I love about it is if you look down, and earlier in the season, you could look down the assist column, you didn't see a lot of them. Now I'm seeing, minimum of 2, some of them, 4 assists. Hollingsworth really turned it on. That's really good to see. But, you got some great guys on this team. And with Cameron Justice, like, quasi-healthy, I mean, it makes a big difference, So I feel like, the deeper we can get, the better. And I know we're not going to be very deep no matter what, but I feel like rested legs going into this UAB or UTSA game that we'll be playing on Thursday, I feel like we're going to be so rested and we'll play very well, and then that'll bode well for us. And I think we'll make it to the finals. I think the Lady Tops and the Hilltoppers got a good chance of coming out victorious in these Conference USA tournaments they're in. Plus, maybe roll into the tournament as a 11 seed, 12 seed, something like that. Maybe that's where I'm hoping.
Yeah, you know what? I mean, with these tournaments, it takes on a new. It's its own animal. It kind of takes its own identity when you start talking about the conference tournaments. You've got 3-4 days in a row where you have to you got to get kind of swept them in this momentum. We know that Hollingsworth is going to show up. We're looking for guys like you mentioned, Justice or Savage. I mean, those are going to have to be guys that are going to be able to produce. Can they put 2 or 3 games together where they have those special tournament type moments?
Mm-hmm.
They can put that stuff together that carries them through. I mean, because like you said, they've always been adjusting since basketball. That happened early on in the season.
Yes.
Now it feels like a lifetime ago.
They've
got to adjust. I think going forward, I think that this is going to be a team that we see this first tournament game that they play, they get a little bit of rest. They don't have to play the first day of the tournament, but I think they're going to come in focused. They're going to come in ready, and they come in hungry. And it's kind of cool with this bonus play. I mean, a lot of people like it. Some people don't don't really like it last minute scheduling, this thing. It's probably a pain in the neck for athletic directors, but for these players, they kind of get to focus in on, playing last minute. That prepares you for a tournament mindset because you don't know who your opponent's going to be.
Absolutely.
And it's a shorter time frame for you to prepare for your opponent. So this kind of gets them ready for that tournament mindset. So with that aspect, I like the bonus play.
I like the bonus play, too. And another thing that I want to add to that comment there is one more thing about the Tops. I'd rather see UAB because I don't want to have to face Keaton Wallace and Javon Jackson again. These two guys are really good road runners, and I feel like that could be a tough game for us. I don't think UAB is going to be that tough a game, but I feel like if we have to play the road runners, that may be a tough game for us, and I don't want that to happen. So because we're probably going to end up seeing La Tech in this thing, and to me that's the scariest team in Conference USA, and we beat them twice in the regular season, Frank, and I don't know how that will bode. It's hard to beat a team 3 times, man.
No, you're right. You're absolutely right. It's a matchup thing. You're trying to look at the projections for say, well, we want to play them, but we don't want to play them now. We want to play them after they've gone through the ringer a little bit, the way that we have. Kind of thing. You start to like reason. You're reasoning with yourself, and the games haven't happened yet. We'll see. We're going to see how this shapes up. I like the way that they match up with UTSA and UAB.
No,
and the way they're playing right now, I like the way they're playing right now. So I take a shot.
I do too. Go Tops. All right, man. Let's talk a little bit about the NBA. Did you watch the Lakers clip the other night?
I did. LeBron kind of got to showcase a little bit over the weekend. These 2 teams that they're talking about. These are the 3 Coco favorites.
Coco favorites.
The Coco favorites. With the Bucks and with the Clippers and with the Lakers, of course. These are the 3 teams that everybody's talking about as being the championship contenders that we're probably going to get a Los Angeles Western Conference final. That did not feel like a Clippers home game yesterday.
Yeah.
That it felt like a Laker game. And the Lakers crowd, the Clipper crowd was booing at one point. Clippers players, it's bizarre, but it's still very much a Lakers town regardless. That's why I don't think the Clippers really have that much of a home court. LeBron being able to beat the Bucks on Friday night and then respond 2 days later beating the Clippers, I think that he's put himself in that conversation. I think if he plays like this, everybody's got like 18, 20 games left. He keeps playing this consistent level. We know that Giannis is going to miss some time. I think that LeBron is now kind of put himself in that spot to get the MVP.
Man, that's good stuff. Let's talk about your boy Luka real quick. Big time loss last night, I think, 112-109 to the Pacers. I think he got smacked in the face like 13 times or something. And the guy usually goes straight to the locker room showers before post-game comments, but he waited full uniform to give a tirade about the refs, and I don't know. But that guy, he's a special player, man. You were on him way early, and I've been watching him since you've been telling me about him. He's pretty good.
I love the way he plays. I mean, this is a guy that, I'd say a guy's a kid. I mean, he's 21 years old.
I know.
When he was 14 years old, 15 years old, he was playing with men in professional leagues. He was playing against grown men. The guy has grown up right in front of our eyes. I mean, he's a special player, and I can't say enough about him. I mean, we're really the NBA is in really good hands right now.
Yeah, I agree.
Because we're seeing that, LeBron is going to start to transition out in the next couple of seasons, but you have guys like Zion. ESPN is changing their television schedules around to have Zion in the game.
Man.
They showed an ad for Zion playing Wednesday night against the Kings. They didn't even mention the Kings.
The Kings made the media. I love it.
Yeah, right. Because they're playing Zion.
His name is Luca. He lives on the second floor. I'll tell you, man. Going to shape up to be some fun postseason play in the NBA. But I still think it's going to be more than I don't know, man. I'm going to have to go clip Bucks, man, for the finals. But, I mean, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I'm leaning that way, too. I mean, would have to wait and see. They've got so many bodies to throw at LeBron.
That's it.
I worry that they're only they've got two guys. That's what I'm worried about. Is Anthony Davis going to be able to play of a 7-game season, 7-game series?
That's what it's going to come down to, Frank.
Concern. Yeah,
that's exactly what it's going to come down to. You're listening to Vegas, Frank, called Against the Odds, all the way from sunny Las Vegas, Nevada, on the Lineck of Bowling Green Hotline. Man, I tell you, the NFL draft, we're almost just barely a month away, man. I can't wait.
Yeah, the draft is coming. Vegas is going to do it, in the special Las Vegas way. They're going to be shutting down sections of the Strip. They're talking about doing something on the Bellagio fountain in front of the Bellagio fountain. I don't know how I feel about 300-pound linemen in some little boats out there in the middle of that man-made lake. I mean, that doesn't sound really safe.
Yeah, I don't know who thought that one up in what drawing board that went on, but you never know. We'll see what happens with that. But our boy Brady. I mean, I really feel I don't know, man. I mean, first of all, I want to ask you this: is the Death Star ready? I mean, is it done? I mean, because that thing, I got to see it not up close, but 500-600 yards from it. Man, I thought that thing was awesome. I cannot wait to get in there and see what it looks like. But are they done with it?
Well, okay. Well, I'll just give you my Star Wars analogy since we're talking about the Death Star. Okay, in the original Star Wars, I'm going back to 1977. The original Star Wars, the Death Star was completed. Okay, this Death Star is like the Return of the Jedi.
Yeah,
Star.
Three-quarters done.
And then when it shoots, and then Lando freaks out and he says, that thing's operational?
Yeah.
Okay, that's where we're at.
It's a trap!
It's very close. We're very close. It's not quite ready. It's not 100%, but it's very close to being operational.
Oh, my goodness. That's a great analogy, man. That's a great analogy. Well, it looks great. Now, did you tell me, I hear through the grapevine there, PSLs, if you buy some, what you get a bonus play, right?
If you were, bonus play. If you were in that first group, PSL, if you purchase a PSL early on, I mean, you're the first, couple thousand people that bought the PSL licenses. They're giving everybody tickets to see Garth Brooks. That's going to be the first official, I guess you say, event that's going to be taking place in the Death Star is the Garth Brooks concert. And these guys would get tickets to go.
Wow. I got friends in Las Vegas. Oh, that's good stuff, man. Well, let's move on. But looking forward to the draft. Looking forward to seeing the the Las Vegas Raiders. And they may have one Tom Brady there. You never know, man. It could happen.
You never know. I mean, we're hearing 3 to 4 different teams that could possibly be in the mix. I think things are going to clear up in the next couple of days. I don't think he's going to go too far into free agency before we know what he's doing.
That's good stuff. New 30 for 30 coming out. Just to let you guys know, Brian and the Boz, Brian Bosworth. Happy birthday to him today. But you and I grew up on the Boz. You remember the Boz?
Yeah, I love that mullet and the glasses and the frosted hair. And
he did a movie too. It's like he was a bounty hunter. I can't remember the name of it, but
I remember what you're talking about.
Yeah,
I may have had it on VHS.
I guarantee you, I had it on VHS. That's so funny. Didn't do well. I mean, I'll tell you what, man, we got more to talk about. I'd like to jump into some Phillip Rivers talk, some other things like that, Breeze, but we'll save that, man, because it's thick basketball right now, and we're gonna move on to transition. You got some UFC, man. You saw just a bloodbath between a couple of females this weekend.
Well, Jay Checonzuele over the weekend, it was a ridiculous title fight. The crowd gave him a standing ovation. There were a lot of fighters in attendance watching this fight. Went the full 5 rounds. Really concerned for Jay Check. They're both, because of the Nevada State Athletic Commission rules, they're both going to have that medical suspension for the 90 days. Might even go up to 120 days. They left it all there in the octagon. I mean, she carries herself as a champion. I can't say enough about Jay Check in a losing effort. Ridiculous fight. It was such a good fight. It was probably one of the best, probably the top 5 fights I've seen all time, I think, in the UFC, men or women. It was ridiculous. They really just, they tattooed each other. They're the small, you have a smaller frame. You can just, they have the stamina to just, like, they can just throw. And there's stretches in this fight. You get the chance to watch it, you should check it out.
Definitely
there's
going
stretches
to.
in this fight was it just exchanges, and they're just like, I would have got hit once by one of these women. I would have been sleeping.
Yeah, I was going to say,
ridiculous.
I wouldn't get road rage and it be her that gets out of the car.
No, I'd run away.
Oh, my goodness. Vegas Frank, all the way from Las Vegas, man. Appreciate you, dude. Great to have you back this week. I'm neck deep in high school basketball, so that'll be over for me tomorrow night. But we got a big matchup tonight. Purples taking on Logan County. They got this kid, Jose Nazario, who's going to make a big difference tonight. But I think Purples will get by them. But it's going to be a bloodbath, man. And then we've got Clinton County taking on the unbelievably good Warren Central Dragons. So, man, it's good stuff coming from EA Diddle at 6 o'clock tonight. Frank, I'll talk to you next week, big guy.
Good talking to you.
Vegas Frank against the odds. Be right back. Sports Web, ESPN 102.7.
You're playing golf and you're going to like it.
Time to go home there, boss.
I can make it across.
Well, then do it.
We got all of that.
Why didn't you just go home? That's your home. Are you too good for your home? Answer me.
Knock it on. Let her rip.
It's in the hole. By the way, what did Mr. Webb shoot this morning?
It's time for Gary on the Green. Gary on the Green is brought to you by Bowling Green Fireplace and Grill on Old Louisville Road and online at bowlinggreenfireplace.com. Call 270-495-1131.
Welcome back to Sports Web. Gary on the Green, Line-X Hotline, Line-X Bedliners, Roger Gina. Get over there to Louisville Road, Porter Pike intersection, get the bed of that truck taken care of, and where my boy Adam Gary, coach, is, that you can ride in the bed of a truck because it's nice weather there. What's going on from Jacksonville?
Not much, yeah. Just enjoying some spring break. Got to break up the drum here and practice the island a little bit on Saturday, and now we're in our round underway. Maybe tops are off to a bit of a slow start. We're 4 over so far, but there's still a lot of golf left, so looking to move up the board a little bit.
What's this course like, Coach?
Yeah, really nice golf course. I mean, it's kind of a typical Florida course that's in a subdivision, but Fuzzy Zeller design, so not far from Kentucky. So it's a solid golf course. I really enjoy this trip. This is the 3rd year that we've come here, so it's a fun one. They take care of us. We have private housing on the course.
Nice.
It's just nice to be part of this spring break. So we actually got tickets to the Players Championship after the tournament. So we're going there on Wednesday.
That's so cool.
Heading down to Tampa for our home tournament. So it's a busy week, but it's going to be fun.
That is so cool. Well, and I hope the Lady Tops get a foothold here and get a few birdies, get them back down there close to even par. I know that's where you like to kind of gravitate around there, 1-2 over maybe, but I think they'll get it done. I mean, what's a guy need to do, Coach, off tip? Right now we're dusting off the clubs. We've had some 60 days where it was really nice to play. The guy need to just go straight to the first tee, or do you need to take a week or something and just get your game ready?
I think it depends. I mean, obviously, it's different for everybody. If you're getting some nice weather, I think it's ideal if you could do a little bit of both. Maybe do a little range time and then go spend some time on the course and play a little bit too, and maybe even do a little range time after the round. Sometimes I felt like I got my best work done after I'd already played around because I kind of was loose and warm and I knew what to work on. And so I think sometimes that's often overlooked. As soon as people get done, they just throw the clubs in the trunk and leave. But sometimes the after the round practice is where a lot of the learning can happen.
That's maybe one of the better tips we've ever had. I mean, that is exactly right. I've noticed that in my own game. If I don't just jump in the car and leave, and I go, let's say it's putting or whatever, if I go straight to the putting green and work for an hour, I mean, you can really work those kinks out that way. That is the best way, I think, to do it, Coach, and I'm glad myself included on that one because I'm going to do that this year. But let me ask you this, and I've always wondering, you hear golfers talk about it all the time. Hey, I hadn't played in 6 months. I got out there, shot 82, man, had the greatest round I've had in years. Is it because you don't have all those things in your head and you're kind of just getting out there to the basics, or you explain it?
Yeah, no, I think that definitely happens. A lot of times it's back, and not only is it you don't have swing thoughts in your head, but maybe you don't have expectations either. I mean, look at the PGA Tour event with Tyrrell Hatton winning this weekend. He just had wrist surgery, and he was saying he didn't even expect to win. He was just out and thankful that he got to play. And look at that, wins on the PGA Tour for the first time. So I think sometimes the expectations and the swing thoughts can only hinder you. So if you can kind of just go with the flow and accept it for what it is that day, I think you'll be better off.
And to add to that, I feel like a lot of us, and myself included, I get out there and try to figure it out during a round, and that's the last place you want to do that, right?
Yeah, I agree. That's when it just really snowballs on you, isn't it?
Yeah, it does. And I'll tell you something, snowball basketball, Lady Top's in it to win it, and so are the Tops. And, we're going to either face UAB or UTSA. Who'd you rather have?
Doesn't matter to me. I mean, I think that we'll match up well to both of them. Yeah. We're the number 2 seed for a reason, so I think that it's that's the way you have to approach it. That hey, we're the favorite. Let's just go take care of business and let's not beat ourselves, and everything will work out the way it's supposed to.
My prediction is we'll run into La Tech again. We're gonna have to beat that team 3 times this year. That team is really, in my opinion, the best team in Conference USA. You feel about the same? We'll probably run into them.
I do. I definitely think they're the most dangerous team in the conference. So hopefully the lack of depth won't hurt us too bad, and we can kind of keep our energy and stuff up because I think we can play with them. Just
absolutely.
Like you said, though, it's tough to beat a good team 3 times, but I hope we have that chance.
I just hope they get knocked off before we. I
mean, at the same time too, it's like, hey, I want to.
That's true. You're right.
It,
That's the Adam Gary way. I'll let the Brian Webb way slip in there. Coach, good luck to you all, and have fun at the Players, man.
Perfect. Thank you so much for having me.
Appreciate you listening to the Sports Web. EA Diddle right now, basketball on 103.7 Nash Icon. Thanks for listening and appreciate everybody's ears. ESPN 102.7.